Namaste and welcome, dear friends, for this transformational meditation class from Quantum Life University. So, every Sunday we conduct these meditation classes in English and Hindi alternately. This time it is going to be in English, and today's topic is very interesting and by one of the wonderful QLU trainers, QLU Acharyas, Kiran Anumalasetty garu. So, I'll just, for those of you who don't know him, he is one of our trustees, QLU trustees, and acharyas and workshop trainers. Kiranji has conducted many workshops, individual sessions, and classes from QLU. And also, he has presented in international conferences in various places, various countries also. He is um, he is also a board member of International Association for Study of Dreams, IASD, an international multidisciplinary organization based in USA. It's dedicated to dream work and dream research. He is passionate about therapy. He does a lot of teaching and he works with children. He loves working with children. So he has presented his work in several international conferences like past life regression conferences, like from ARRR that we used to conduct, and International Association for Dreams Conference, World Congress for Regression Therapy. He writes columns for The Edge magazine. He facilitates several self discovery and healing workshops in India and Europe. There's a lot that I want to say about him, even personally. He guides all the QLU Sangha members very wonderfully on the right path. He's a very, you will find him to be a very present, aware master, I'm always reminded of a Buddhist monk whenever I see him. His presence is so palpable, you can sense it. Today, he's going to talk about NVC, nonviolent communication. So let us all welcome him with a beautiful smile, and we'll all turn on our cameras if you're on Zoom, and those who are on YouTube, you can also comment on the chat box. So thank you so much, Kiran Garu, for being here today with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Harika. Thank you for inviting me and introducing me. And warm welcome to all of you. Thank you for being here. So it is a wonderful opportunity for all of us to meet and connect to the wisdom, QLU's wisdom. And I would like to start with expressing my gratitude to Quantum Life University and my teachers, Dr. Newton Kondaviti and Dr. Lakshmi Newton, for always being there in our lives. And their presence has greatly helped me in transforming my life and leading a meaningful, purposeful life now. So today's topic is non-violent communication. So it's a very beautiful topic and very essential life skill for all of us. And no university teaches, no college teaches, no school teaches this wisdom, this essential skill. And today we will see how important this skill is and how we can beautifully transform our all aspects of our life using this amazing tool, nonviolent communication. And we will do some practical exercises as part of this to really understand the beauty of it, to really integrate into our day-to-day life. So I would like to share a presentation here. Okay. It's a very basic presentation which will help us to go through this process. So nonviolent communication It's based on the wisdom of Marshall Rosenberg. He's a great teacher, a great. He discovered this process, nonviolent communication, from his own childhood turmoil. So when he was a small boy, a school-going kid, he moved to Detroit in US, and just after 1 week after his movement to Detroit, there were riots in Detroit. In those riots, close to 35 people or 40 people got killed, several hundreds got injured. So his family was scared and they had to live inside a closed room for several weeks. So in that moment, he wanted to understand what is the root cause of violence. He saw people dying in front of his eyes, people killing each other in front of his eyes as a small kid. This um, this created this question in him: what is the reason why one person kills other person? And he grew up with this question. And he noticed, he observed one of his uncles, and his uncle is a very compassionate person. He tries to help other beings, other people, and he gets so much of joy in this process. So it's a different contrast, entirely different experience to what he witnessed in Detroit, his uncle's behavior. So then he decided in that moment to dedicate his life to this understanding why some people kill others and why some people get joy in helping others. What is the reason for it? So he studied psychiatry and psychology, and he did PhD in psychiatry. And he couldn't find any answers in his formal education after completing his PhD also. So he started self-study. He did comparative religious studies of ancient wisdoms, and he did a lot of introspection within himself. And then he came up with this process called nonviolent communication. And his observations and his work, he has put in a beautiful book, Nonviolent Communication, a Language of Life. So this book has become so popular. It got translated into more than 60 different languages, and he traveled across the world to teach in his workshops. And he was invited to uh, resolve conflicts between nations and to stop the wars. And uh, he was a recipient of several awards because of his work at a global level to reduce, to eradicate or remove conflicts between tribes, between communities, between sects of people, and between nations. So enormous contribution to humanity through this work, nonviolent communication. So we will see the core principles of this process, and we will try to appreciate it, learn few. Uh, before learning, we have to shift our perspective towards many things in our life, and how we can apply this wisdom. Say it is in relationships, especially, it is greatly useful in parenting and in teaching. If you are in teaching profession, um, also the relationship with our own self. Okay, it greatly helps us to um, radically transform how we relate with our own self. And we can also transform our relationship with our illness, with our fears, with our habits, with our addictions. So there are so many possibilities how we can apply this process. So what is nonviolent communication? So there are certain basic premises on which this tool, nonviolent communication, is built. So one such premise is blame and criticism are a tragic expression of our unmet need. So when someone blames the other person or criticizes the language they use to criticize others, to blame others, or say something bad about the other person. So this is the root cause of violence. According to Marshall Rosenberg, he found that all violence is rooted in criticism and blame. And he wanted to understand what is the reason why someone is blaming others, why someone is criticizing others. This is there at all levels. A nation is blaming another nation. A religion is blaming another religion. A set of people are blaming another set of people. Or a parent is blaming the child, or a teacher is blaming the child, or in a relationship, one person is blaming the other person. So this is a universal phenomenon, right? And he found that this is the root cause of violence. And he understood that this blame and criticism is a tragic suicidal expression of our unmet needs. And the reason why we use such language, where we criticize others or say bad things about others or judge others, is because we don't have the vocabulary, right vocabulary, to express our needs. So we have not been educated in that way to stay in connection with our needs, to understand what are our needs. No schools trains us this way. So if you can reflect in your life from your early childhood to now, did anyone teach you how to express your needs? How to acknowledge your needs? What are the various needs that one will have? No one teaches. It is not part of any formal education. So humanity as a collective whole lost touch with our needs. And what happens when we lose the connection with our own innate needs? And needs are the source of life. So we lose touch with our own life force. But this pain is real. When the need is not met, there is pain. And various expressions of this pain in the form of anger, anguish, disappointment, hatred, rage. And all these feelings now are expressed in the vocabulary that we know the best, which is blame and criticism. So this is a great discovery of Marshall Rosenberg. And with this discovery, he created this process. He wanted to create this literacy about needs, the vocabulary about needs. It's the first time anyone attempted this, created a vocabulary around needs and a whole new way of communicating based on this vocabulary. So when we strive to make an empathetic connection with others by listening to their needs, conflict resolution is possible. So this is another basic premise of nonviolent communication. So when there is a conflict, what happens is there is no connection between the two people or two groups. So to make an empathetic connection, what is very important is connect at the level of needs. Okay, so then conflict resolution is possible. So if you are connecting at the level of vocabulary, words, no, then it is not possible. If you are connecting at the level of feelings, no, then connection is not possible. Empathy is not possible. Conflict resolution is not possible. So these are the two basic premises. So Marshall Rosenberg is a very creative person. He beautifully expresses the concepts. He has a concept called wolf ears. It is a metaphor, actually, wolf ears. So it's a playful way of expressing this metaphor. This wolf ears is a metaphor characterized by judgmental, critical, and blaming communication. So when we are in an argument with someone, when we are in a situation with another person, in an intense situation where we are judging, criticizing, or blaming the other person, then it means that in NVC language, we are wearing wolf ears. Okay. And so there are two kinds of wolf ears. Okay. One, the first kind is wolf ears that are turned inward. Okay. So wolf ears turned inward means when someone is criticizing us or blaming us, how do we react? There are two possibilities. First possibility is we feel guilty, ashamed. We feel less than human. We feel shameful. That is inward, turning the whole fears inward. And the second way is we become very angry. We become frustrated. We want to attack the other person. We want to argue. We want to make our point, argue, and prove the other person as wrong, and put the blame again on the other person. So this is also a natural tendency. This is turning the wolf ears outward. So these are the two ways how we react when someone is criticizing us, judging us, or blaming us. So there is a different kind of ears which Marshall Rosenberg proposes in this model. It's called giraffe ears. So he used the metaphor of giraffe because giraffe is the um, land animal which has the largest heart in size. So he took the metaphor as giraffe ears. So listening with heart, it metaphorically, it symbolizes listening with heart. And also giraffe has a long neck, so it can see a bigger picture. It has a broader perspective. So for these two reasons, he selected giraffe ears as a metaphor for this. So giraffe ears involve actively listening to understand the other person's feelings and needs. So when we hear with giraffe ears, we are not hearing the blame, the criticism, the uh, bad language or the hurtful language. All that we are not listening. What we are listening is the other person's feelings, the other person's unmet needs. So in the words of Marshall Rosenberg, he says, when he wears giraffe ears, he listens this beautiful song. Even when someone is criticizing, he listens a beautiful song. And the song which says that I am beautiful. The other person is singing the song, I am beautiful. I want you to see me as beautiful. I have an unmet need. I want you to see this unmet need inside me. I need some time to meet these needs, and I need your help in meeting these needs. And I want you to see me as beautiful. So this is the song that other person is singing when they are criticizing you. And when we wear giraffe ears, we can listen this song. How beautiful this is. And it is very deep, very profound. When we really get to wear these giraffe ears internally, it's not some physical ears that we wear. We internally wear these giraffe ears. And this metaphor helps us when we are in a argument, when we are in a relationship situation. We have to ask this question, am I wearing wolf ears or giraffe ears? And what does it take for me to now listen with giraffe ears? And it brings the whole shift, whole transformation in the relationship when we start listening to the other person's feelings and the need, unmet need behind those feelings. So now coming to the 4 ingredients of non-violent communication. These are the 4 pillars or 4 steps in this process. And the first step is, these are the 4 stages where this can be applied to any communication. It's so versatile. First one is observation. Second one is feelings. Third one is needs. The fourth one is clear request. Observation, feelings, needs, and clear request. So we will go through each one of them with some examples, and we will see what each stage is. So in the observation stage, we clearly state what we observed. So often this is very difficult. To observe without evaluation is the highest form of intelligence. Jiddu Krishnamurti said these words. To observe without evaluation is the highest form of intelligence. So very objective, very discerning, not mixing the observation with our own evaluation, judgments, diagnosis. What many people do, what most of us do in our day-to-day interactions with other people is we observe certain behaviors and we immediately evaluate the other person. For example, if a person uh, didn't arrive on time for his appointment, we say, you are not punctual. You are late. Even you are late is also a evaluation. So in that situation, the observation is you came late to the appointment by 5 minutes. That is the observation. And when you say you are late, it is you are already evaluating the other person. And so the left side are some examples where evaluation is mixed with observation. And the right side evaluation is separated from the observation. So she is not going to finish the task on time. Here we are mixing evaluation with observation. So you are actually stating that she is not going to finish the task on time. You are evaluating her that she cannot do it. So whereas observation is, I don't think she will finish on time. Okay? It is your own internal observation. He is lazy. Is like judging someone as lazy. Whereas observation is both times I walked by today, he was not working. So that is a fact. Another example, you are always busy. Here we are judging the other person as busy. Whereas observation is you did not have available time to meet me this week. So you can now actually do this exercise where you can think about a person with whom you have certain challenging relationship or a challenging situation recently you had. You can choose any person. And think about this person, think about this situation. And when you are in this situation with this person, the person did something or said something which you didn't like. Okay. You are in this situation with this person, and the person told you something or did some action which you didn't like. Okay. I want you to remember this situation with this person. Now, we are going to follow the first step, first stage of NVC, observation. I want you to write down the observation without evaluation. What did you observe? In this situation, what did you observe? Okay. So I will give you a minute and you can write your observation without evaluation or judgment or any kind of criticism towards the other person. Just the actual fact as it is. So write it down. Okay. So now we will go to the next stage. Before that, here are some tips on how to separate evaluation from observation. State the facts without trying to diagnose what the problem is with other person. So typically when two people are arguing, what happens is they quickly move from observation to evaluation. They don't spend a lot of time in the observation stage. They quickly move to evaluation. They say that, you did this to me, you are wrong. You are being so selfish. You are being so arrogant. And the other person, when they are not wearing giraffe ears, they react. Either they are hurt and they turn inward, or they protest and they defend and argue. No, you are selfish. You are the one who started this. You are the one who are at fault. So they quickly move to judgments and diagnosis. So instead, we are giving a pause and we are first stating our observation. So where you say that you said these words to me in this situation, that's all. That is the observation. You said so and so words to me in this particular situation. Or you did such and so actions in this particular situation. That is the observation. Separate your feelings from the facts. So many times we mix feelings also with observations. You said these words that caused so much hurt to me. You are spreading rumors about me which caused so much of pain to me. So these are feelings mixed with observation. Okay. So don't mix the feelings from the facts. So the whole purpose of this stage is to acknowledge what happened as it is. And in this stage, we are actually bringing in a lot of honesty. In evaluations, we are not very honest. In judgments, we cannot be honest, but in observation, we can be honest. So this is the foundation for nonviolent communication, honesty in stating your observation. So then we move to the second stage, which is the feeling stage. In nonviolent communication, feelings are emotions or sensations that arise in response to our needs being met or not met. And they are distinct from thoughts and interpretations. So this is the formal definition, but it is very simple. You are now expressing how you feel, how you felt in this situation because of these actions or words by the other person. For example, I feel angry. I am hurt because of what you said to me. I felt disappointed when you turned down my offer. I felt I am ignored when you didn't listen to my opinion. So these are feelings. Okay. So here there is no criticism of the other person. So it is important not to mix your feelings with your needs. So sometimes what we say is, I gave an example here. I feel ignored and I feel you should give more importance to my viewpoint. So here there is an unmet need, which is lack of self-importance, or not being given enough importance. So we should not mix our needs when this stage, only feelings. Okay. And when we are in this stage, you are not also making any requests to the other person. For example, I feel angry and I feel you could have been more empathetic in using your words. So you are already trying to make a request here. What the other person should do, how they should behave, um, how they should change themselves, offering suggestions. So in this stage, we are only expressing your feelings. So we stay in touch with our feelings in this state. Otherwise, we quickly move to putting the blame on the other person and trying to change the other person. And sometimes we also make demands on the other person. You can't be like this with me from next time. It's a demand. Whether our other person likes it or not, we demand this in relationships. So then in this stage, I want you to now write down how you felt in this situation, in the exercise that you are doing with this person in this situation. What are your feelings? Just note down your feelings. Now we will move to the most important stage, the needs. In NVC, needs are defined as universal human values and motivations that drive our actions and feelings. So this is the formal definition. But there is an unmet need behind every feeling. When someone is When we wear the giraffe ears, we can listen to the unmet need very easily. That means when we are listening with empathy, we can hear the other person's unmet needs. Okay. Similarly, when we practice this empathy on ourselves in this process, NVC is all about self-empathy. Without self-empathy, you can't get in touch with your own needs. So you identify your own unmet need in this situation and express this need. So this is a elaborate list of all the needs from the Center of Nonviolent Communication. We can go through a few of them. For example, justice, freedom, independence, acceptance, appreciation, authenticity. These are all the needs. Needs, they are classified. The needs of making connection, needs of autonomy, needs of meaning, needs of honesty, needs of peace and physical well-being, needs of play. Compassion, kindness, intimacy, empathy, care, cooperation, power. These are all connection needs. So Now identify what is the unmet need and write it down in this specific situation with this person. The person said something to you or did something to you which you didn't like. So in the first stage, you stated the observation, and in the second stage, you listed all your feelings and expressed the feelings. Now you are going a little bit deeper. What is the unmet need behind these feelings? It can be anything from this list or something beyond this list also. So think about this unmet need and express it. Safety is one need. Security is also a need. Acknowledgement, belonging is a need. Authenticity is a need. Support is a need. To feel supported. Love is a need. So as human beings, we have needs, which is very human to have these needs. But since we lost the vocabulary for these needs, we are not aware of them. Expression, growth, to matter is a need. To contribute is also a need. And there are physical needs like food, shelter, water, rest, sleep, exercise. These are all sexual expression. Touch. These are all physical needs. So in this situation, you express what are the needs that are not met. Okay. So then we move to the final stage, which is the completion of the process, making a clear request. So we identified our unmet need. Now we are making a clear request to the other person. Okay. And here it's a positive request. It's an action-oriented request. And it is not a demand. It's very important. It's not a demand. It's a request. So what is the difference between a request and a demand? So when we are demanding something from the other person, and if the other person doesn't meet our demand, then we judge the other person. We blame the other person. And it is such a pressure for the other person when there is a demand. Whereas request happens with mutual consent. It is the good for everyone. It is based on mutual good. Where everyone's needs are met. So you make a request without a demand. I have so and so unmet needs. So I request you to do this specific action towards me. And the other person should be willing to do it. If they are not willing, they will not do. And if they are doing, they are willing to do. So here are some examples of clear requests. Would you be willing to help me with the dishes? This is an action oriented. You are not saying you have to become more active, let go of your laziness. That is not a request. It's not a clear request. It's a vague request. Okay. Another example, would you be able to send me a summary of the project updates by Friday afternoon? Another example, I would like us to spend some quality time together this weekend. Would you be open to going for a hike on Saturday morning? Very clear, very action oriented, and there is no demand. Okay. So I want you to now think how you want this other person to meet your unmet need, by what actions they can meet your need. How do you want to communicate this clear request to the other person? What specific words, what specific actions you want them to take so that your need is met. This is the language of needs. This is the vocabulary that we need to practice, and it will greatly help in our relationships. So take a minute to write your clear request to this person. So if one of you can share what you have written with the four stages. What is your observation? What is your feeling? What is the need and what is the clear request? I think it will be great.
Sure, Kiran. So Friends, anyone on Zoom who wants to speak can raise your hand, digital hand, or you can maybe put it on the chat box. Neeti ji, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, Niti ji.
Question was uh, like so honest observation, but I can share only my part of the observation.
Yes,
So
exactly.
it was an insulting sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Like I felt like you're talking to an adult, and how could you say that you touched the food and you spoiled it? So
Mm.
so this was the observation.
Can you repeat the observation?
Don't touch the food, you will spoil it.
So this is the other person told you?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the observation. So these are
Yes.
the exact words the other person told you.
Correct.
Okay. Don't touch the food and it will be spoiled.
Yeah, you will spoil it.
You will spoil it. Okay. To be more specific. Okay. That's a clear observation. Very good.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
I can have an imprint. So
Yeah. That's a clear observation there because here there are no feelings that you mixed with the observation, and you are not judging the other person here. It is
yeah.
it's just stating the observation as a fact. Okay,
So next step.
is the feeling.
So I felt insulted,
You felt insulted. Yes.
being a guest and being an elderly. And if
Mm.
you are talking to me like this, so I felt insulted. So it's a
Yeah.
clear feeling.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Any other feelings?
yeah, I felt that I was not respected.
Not respected, not insulted. Felt insulted.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So now moving to the third stage, needs.
So need is lack of authenticity from the other party.
Okay, so here, what is the need that is not met within you in this situation?
Uh, I was not acknowledged
Not
or
acknowledged,
loved,
not loved.
and I find that they are not authentic people.
Yeah, so that is again a judgment.
Okay,
Okay?
okay.
So here, how you feel is important.
I was stunned.
Stunned.
Yeah, how could somebody behave like this with a
Yeah,
guest?
yeah. You felt disrespected.
Yes.
Yes. So is that a need?
Yeah, I being like elder to them, like, so
Yeah,
I was expecting if I'm going to their house, I was expecting
yeah,
not to be treated like this.
yeah.
When I'm doing everything diligently, not to offend anybody.
So the needs are much deeper than expectations. Okay. They're a part of us, those needs, and these unmet needs uh, actually they become the language of criticism. So, for example, in this situation, they are not authentic. You felt that way, right? They are not
Yeah.
authentic. So it is the language of criticism, and
Okay.
the language of criticism is actually the root cause is unmet need.
Hmm.
Okay. So when you go deeper, you will identify what is this unmet need that made me express in this way as in the language of criticism.
I think not being respected.
Yeah. So the respect is the need. Yes. You felt
It was like I played my part diligently, but you didn't play your part.
Yeah. So that is again, we are moving into the language of judgment.
Yeah, that is a judgment.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. So it is so important to identify that and stay with our unmet needs so that we can clearly express our unmet need.
Yeah, so because I could not identify the unmet need, so
Mhm.
I could not put the clear request.
Mm.
I
So
think,
now you are able to identify the need.
yeah,
Yeah. So now can you state the need now?
need was, I mean, being loved or respected.
Loved and respected. Okay. Now, what is the clear request? How do you make a clear request in this situation?
Can you please talk in a more loving and respectful manner?
Hmm. Yeah.
Is it correct?
Yeah.
Because it's a request
The
sentence. So,
request. Yes. Yeah. Can you please be more? Can you please use more loving words and it can be more action oriented in this situation.
how?
What action you want them to take? That will help you make this need.
Of course, talk properly.
Talk
Not,
properly.
not use rude words.
Yeah. Yes. So it is also a positive action oriented. So you are telling them what to do, what not to do here. I mean, you're not telling what not to do. Okay. So you're telling
Okay.
them how to express respect towards you.
Yeah,
You can be more kind, more respectful, or you can say you can be kind, respectful in the use of your words.
this is more specific.
Yes. You can be kind and respectful in using your words. So does that meet your need when you make this clear request?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then the burden is off.
Yes. Yeah. So now can you combine all these and form a sentence and talk to the other person?
Um, can you please talk
Uh,
in a
start
more,
with start with the observation.
okay. You don't touch the food, otherwise you will spoil it.
You can say you said these words to
The
me,
other person said to me,
and you are talking to the other person now.
yeah.
Yes.
So next is feelings. So I feel insulted.
Yeah. So you can say like this: when you said these words to me, I felt insulted. You are
When in
telling
the request, I can say,
no. You are now combining all the four into a single
okay.
sentence.
Uh,
Okay.
when you said these words to me, I felt insulted.
Yes. Right. Yeah. Now, my need, respect is my need.
Yes.
Okay? And I want you to can you please use kind and respectful language while interacting with me?
Can you please use kind and respectful words while interacting with me? So
Yeah.
beautiful. My heart is. Thank you.
Wow. It's great. Yeah. So this is empowering. NVC is very empowering. That's why you felt so lighter.
I mean, I've read it previously, but
Yes.
because you were taking the session
Yeah.
and the way you put it across, it was marvelous. Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Yeah. Thank you for being the brave one for expressing this and sharing with us. Thank you so much, Viniti ji.
Thank you. Thank you, Kiran.
Okay, so we'll take one more sharing.
Okay. Shuchi ji.
Gigi.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Suchi.
So, sir, there was the recent situation, like my father's 70th birthday is coming. So, there is some sort of a small planning going on. And like my father's sisters, they are planning to give him a surprise.
Yeah.
And so they are planning to come to my father and mother's place. So recently my mother, I also, wanted to celebrate his birthday. So recently my mother, she has called to me and she's sharing about the situation that they are planning. So someone is saying this, someone is saying that. So around that situation, I have written these four. So my first observation is like she is overwhelmed with the organization and planning.
Pardon?
She is overwhelmed
Okay.
with the organization and planning.
Okay. So this is your own perception, or you are judging this person already. Okay.
So this is not observation. Here, I'm already judging her.
Yes. So observation is not judging the other person. So it's a fact. Okay.
Okay. So what could be the observation here? Like, I'm not able to simply get the observation here. Because all I can listen when she's stating all this is like,
What
I'm
is
not
she
able to
stating?
get the giraffe ears here.
What is she stating?
Like she's stating ki, so like there are four sisters, right? So she's stating that one sister is saying this, that we want to give surprise, we will come at this time, we will bring sweets. Other sister is saying we will bring cake. Other sister is saying, so all everyone is maybe uh, so
She's not able to decide.
no, she is deciding also, but in her conversation she is blaming uh, like they have already planned, they have already decided, we will do like this. So I'm not able to get the clear observation here.
Okay. Okay. So she's saying, she's explaining what is happening around
Right. Yes.
the arrangements of your father's birthday celebration.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So you can say that
Okay.
as in the observation.
Okay.
Okay. You are
Okay.
telling your mom, you are stating various interactions with
Right.
everyone involved in organizing this event. Okay.
Yes. Sir.
Okay. And when you say she is judgmental about others, then you are judging that she is judgmental.
Okay.
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 So you clearly separate your judgments about her completely. Now, this is a practice. You start seeing her without your own judgments now, in the first stage, in the observation stage. Okay.
Yes.
So that is clear to you, the clear observation?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So the second part is feelings.
So when this conversation is happening, So I'm feeling insecure and I'm feeling burdened.
Yes.
I'm also feeling worried
Yes.
because when the dynamics between them. So I'm
Yes.
worried about that, the conflicts, and I'm also feeling helpless.
Yeah.
So and unsafe.
Yeah.
So
Quite a lot
I'm
of emotions here.
yes.
Feeling. Can you repeat the 4 emotions that you?
So basically, I'm feeling unsafe and insecure.
Mhm.
I'm also feeling burdened,
Mm.
worried, and helpless. So 5, if I
5.
say
Yes. Worried,
5
helpless, burdened, unsafe,
and
insecure.
insecure.
So in the last 2 feelings, you are already moving into the realm of needs. That is okay. So the first 3 are feelings. Okay. The second 3 are already into the needs. Okay. So now coming to the needs, you can express your needs.
So sir, need would be here feeling of safety and security,
Yes, exactly.
and
Safety
also
and security.
a freedom from their conflicts or
Hmm.
whatever is happening between them
Yes.
at their level of interaction. So
Yeah.
a freedom from that worry, that
Hmm.
so again maybe it is again safety or security,
Yes.
but
So first need is safety, security, and then you want some healthy
deep.
boundaries,
Yes,
right? Some healthy disconnection, healthy separation from their worries.
yes.
So boundaries are your need here, emotional boundaries. Okay. So now, how do you make the clear request? A positive action-oriented statement. What specific actions you want them to take, which can help you meet this need.
Oh, sir, what I thought of was that I can request her that we can do a small celebration of our own
Hmm.
before they come.
Before who comes?
Before the, everyone,
Before everyone comes.
before like we will have a celebration with everyone, with my
Hmm.
father's sisters
With the
and other
extended
families.
family. Yeah.
Yes, extended
Beautiful.
family. So before that, if we can have a
That's
small,
perfect. It is action oriented and it's a positive request and it is a clear request. Okay. So you can write that request or you can make that request. So I want you to now, as if you are talking to your mother, all the 4 things one after the other. Observation, how you felt, what's your need, and what is your clear request.
so like if I combine them, so I'll say that that you have been explaining
Yeah.
all your recent interactions
Mm.
uh, with with others for this celebration.
Yeah.
And so when you are doing so, I am felt insecure and
Mm.
burdened and worried.
Yes.
So I would like to feel safe and secure, and I would like to have healthy boundaries, and maybe we can have a small celebration of our own before we celebrate with the extended family.
Yes. Yeah. How do you feel now when you make this, when you communicate this way?
I feel good, but back of the mind, sir, there is this constant voice that I will not be able to say this to my mother.
Yeah.
I can say here, but definitely it's like a fact, like it's the universal truth, 100% that
Mm.
I cannot say all this to her. Maybe the
Mm.
last part I can say ki, Mummy, we can have a small celebration.
Yes.
And with that saying also I have a lot of, my heart is
Yes.
lot of sensations in my heart with fear, what she will say, what she will react.
Yes.
And maybe she will say ki, again my judgments are clouding
Yes.
me.
Yes.
But back of the mind, it is I cannot say all this to her.
What happens if you say? What's the worst thing that can happen when you say?
I will feel it's the fear is that she will close to me. She will, she will make this key. I cannot share my feelings with my children.
Yeah.
And also she will say that you don't understand.
Yeah.
And she will say that
She may judge you and use the blame language and all that.
yes.
Right?
And like means it will be like so because of this has been the constant dynamic since childhood. Like my mother shares whatever she feels with in the relationships she is in, so with the children. So it kind of brings a burden. So, but stating that again, it feels like you are disconnecting and you're being rude to her or because
Yeah, it's important to understand this in NVC. You are neither asking the other person to change, okay, you're not expecting any result. So, what is the purpose of NVC? Okay, the purpose of NVC is not to get your work done. The purpose of NVC is not to make uh, others do things for you in your own way. That's not the purpose. So the purpose of NVC is to establish connection at a deeper level with the other person. Okay. So that is more important. So it gives an opportunity for us to connect to the other person at the level of needs. Maybe your mother will it will offend your mother, and she will use some language which is offensive, which is blaming and criticizing. Okay. Then it is an opportunity for you, according to NVC, to wear the giraffe ears and listen to her feelings, her unmet needs. Okay, you are sending a signal to her that I want to connect with you at a deeper level. I want to establish an empathetic connection with you. That is my desire. When that is your desire, then you are not afraid of what she will say. Okay. And even if she says something really bad, it doesn't matter for you, because your whole intention is to establish that connection at that level with her. And it is not easy. NVC is not very easy. It is, that's why it is very empowering. It prepares us, it brings that readiness in us to make this level of empathetic connection with the other person. It is about self-responsibility. It is about meeting everyone's needs. As Marshall says, it's not one-sided. In this process, your mother's needs will also be met. So you give a chance for her to also express and speak. She may not use the NVC language, but when you practice NVC, you know how to listen. Not only how to express, but also how to listen. Each of these stages have two components, how to express and how to listen. How to listen, especially when someone is using abusive language. That is also part of NVC. And we practice this listening to their feelings and unmet needs. And as Marshall says, there is a beautiful song they are trying to sing when they are using these words. There is a part of them where their important need is not met, and they want to be listened, they want to be heard, they want to be acknowledged, they want to be loved. Okay, Suchi?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. It is appreciate
Thank you,
your
sir.
courage to share this with the group. Really appreciate
sir.
it. Wow. Thank you. Okay. So we'll just touch upon how to express gratitude using in NVC way. This is very important. So I never understood that there is a way to express gratitude. I never knew this until I read NVC. I was thinking that expressing gratitude is very easy. But expressing gratitude also involves all these steps. A clear observation and clear feelings and what is the need that is met. So I will give you an example. Someone did something good to you. Okay, so you go to this person and you say, you are very compassionate being. You are such a marvelous being. You are such a kind-hearted being. Thank you so much for being there. So according to NVC, this is not the right way to express gratitude. I used to express this way only till now. So the right way to express gratitude in NVC is clearly stating what unmet need is met by this person's specific actions. I felt I felt loved unconditionally for the first time in my life because of these words that you spoke. So then the other person will clearly understand how his actions contributed to your well-being. That is very empowering to the other person. Recently, I expressed gratitude to one person where I told him, "You are amazing." And that person didn't understand why I said those words. He felt happy, he sensed my heart, but he couldn't understand that what I really meant when I said you are amazing. It's very vague. But if I could be more specific, what is the need, what is the unmet need that is met within me? If we can express that, that is the right way to um, express the gratitude. How their actions and words contributed to your well-being and what are the needs and the needs that were met. So NVC is not just a tool, it's a language of life. It can be used in so many different ways in our interpersonal relationships, in our professional relationships, in parent-child communications, and especially with children. Um, there is so much possibility. NVC is beautiful with children because the moment you judge a child, the child becomes closed. The moment you try to change the behavior of a child, the child becomes even more rigid. In NVC, you are not using that language. Your intention is not that. You are trying to make an empathetic connection with the child, and the child opens up. And Marshall gives a beautiful example in one of his workshops. A lady comes with a problem. His son was addicted to smoking. For 2 years, he was continuously smoking, and every day they have a discussion, they have an argument. She wants him to stop smoking, otherwise his health will go bad, and all that. And he doesn't listen to her, and he continued with this habit. It became even worse. So she comes to Marshall and she asks him, "What can I do? How can I help my child? He's going into this terrible habit of smoking." So then Marshall tell him that smoking is a wonderful thing. The most beautiful thing that you can do is smoking. So he didn't expect her to tell those words exactly, but he wants her to shift her perspective from just listening. Smoking is a symptom, it's a language, but there is a deeper unmet need. It's just an observation, but there is an unmet need the child is trying to communicate through his behavior. So he wants her to listen to that need and make an empathetic connection with the child. So in the afternoon, this lady again meets Marshall in the workshop, and she is like, so all her face is glowing, vibrant, and laughing, smiling. And she told Marshall that she made a connection with the child already. And Marshall was like wondering, you didn't go out of the workshop, how you made a connection. No, during lunch break, I called my son and I spoke to him over phone, and I told him the exact words that uh, today I found something really beautiful about your smoking. And the child asked reluctantly, what is it? And she told, smoking is the most beautiful thing that you can do. Really, I feel, I acknowledge you smoking, and it is the best thing for you, she told. So there was a huge silence from the other side. And after few seconds, the child says, I don't think so. And after that, she worked with the child using NVC, and she reported to Marshall that his smoking habit was completely reversed. So that is the power of making an empathetic connection with the other being. So NVC focuses on these core values: empathetic connection, compassion for oneself and the others, authenticity, expressing needs honestly, a peaceful resolution, and personal growth. These are the aspects that NVC focuses on. So, yeah, I highly recommend reading Marshall Rosenberg's book, Non-Violent Communication, and several other books he has written, but this book is beautiful. It is very elaborate and very detailed. And we can start applying this in our day-to-day interactions. We can also apply this to our own self. Okay. And we carry so many judgments and criticism about ourselves because of an unmet need. And we don't like many behaviors of our own, and we judge them, we criticize them. So instead of becoming self-critical, be compassionate, make that empathetic connection with your own self and find out what is the unmet need and see what actions can serve and help you to meet this need. That can be very, very empowering. Similarly, illnesses. An illness is also expression of an unmet need. And when you can make that empathetic connection with the part of you which is trying to express the unmet need, then the illness can also be healed and transformed. Or any addiction. So, with this, I want to end here, and I want to thank everyone. Thank you so much for participating, for your active participation in this process. And, thank you. We will again meet in another transformational meditation class in English. So we will close with a short meditation. Just close your eyes. Be with your breath. Just allow yourself to absorb, integrate the wisdom of NVC. How you can build these compassionate ears of Giraffe. Allow yourself to be in this state where you are listening with empathy to your own self and to others. Feel how you feel when you are listening this way to others. Even when they are judging and criticizing, you are listening to their feelings, listening to their needs. Allow yourself to make this empathetic connection with yourself and also this empathetic connection with other people in your life. Allow yourself to make this commitment, to make this intention that you want to Connect to your own needs. Listen to your own needs. Which is going beyond your guilt. Allow yourself to go beyond your self-criticism, self-doubt, guilt. All three of them, you are now crossing, going beyond them, because now you understand the significance of needs. Allow yourself to get in touch with your own need, which is very important for you to be met. Acknowledge this need. Maybe you have this need for safety. Maybe you have this need for security or belonging or love and acknowledgement. Or meaning and purpose or freedom. All these needs are valid human experiences. Allow yourself to fully acknowledge this need and see now what actions of you can help you meet this need. How can you meet this need within yourself? What clear actions, what positive actions can you take to meet these needs within you? And feel how you feel about these actions. And feel how you feel when this need is met, when this need is fulfilled. How are you feeling? Feeling empowered, feeling loved, acknowledged, feeling complete, feeling relaxed, feeling I can be who I am, feeling I am good enough, feeling confident, feeling whole within you. Now allow yourself to make this commitment to yourself. I prioritize my needs. My needs are important for me. And there are non-violent ways of meeting my needs, positive action-oriented ways, peaceful and harmonious ways to meet my needs. and I choose to move in that direction. And whenever I meet a need with a specific action, I choose to express gratitude to myself. Gently feel your heart center. Feel the sense of relaxation that comes naturally when we acknowledge our needs. We become more human. Feel this within you now. Feeling whole, feeling relaxed, feeling this empathy and compassion for ourselves. Can slowly open your eyes. Whenever you are ready, you can come to the normal waking state with your eyes fully open. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, friends. Thank you for joining. Thank you for giving me this beautiful opportunity to share about NVC. It's a beautiful learning for me uh, through all of you. And thank you, Harika, for coordinating this class.
Thank you so much, Kiranji. It's amazing. We have learned so much today. So some of us have gone through the book. At least I have gone through the book a little bit long back, but today I got the depth of it. If I want to share personally, I thought that it was all together, but when you made us think about each of the steps separately, it made a whole lot of difference in my understanding and helped me a lot. Thank you so much, and I'm sure it helped all of us who are present here and are watching on YouTube and will watch in future. Thank you so much. It is a beautiful gift you gave us today. We will think differently, we will look differently at the situations and communicate differently from now.
Okay. I noticed that you expressed gratitude in NVC way. Thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know that. So thank you so much. And friends from the QLU Sangha, I would like to invite all of you to the Guru Purnima celebrations. We are going to celebrate on 11th, 12th, and 13th with the Masters, Dr. Newton and Dr. Lakshmi. And it is going to be a wonderful time with all of you. It would make a whole lot of difference if you are there. Your presence really, we look forward to it. It makes a lot of difference. So please come join us in Vikarabad Quantum Life University campus and celebrate with us. Yes, definitely on the 11th evening, the main celebrations we are going to be live streamed on YouTube also in case you can't make it because we all live in various places, different places. But if you can't make it, then you're most welcome to watch it live on this channel, or I think either it will be on Telugu channel or on this channel. So please join us energetically or physically in whichever way possible. Thank you so much, and we will see you next Sunday in on Hindi channel. Thank you, friends. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.